David, don't you wish just once he would say, this is the second best iPhone ever? The iPhone 4 is great. But no, of course it's the best phone ever. Why would they try to, But there's some interesting developments they talked about with this phone that I think are important. So as it relates to the phone, and maybe one of the most important things is just the performance of the phone. So I haven't upgraded my phone in 2 years, right? So this phone that I got 2 years ago, the phone they're announcing today, adhering exactly with Moore's Law, 24 months later, is twice the performance and half the power consumption. So important for this phone to do a little bit more and to do all the things that they want to do in terms of, among other things, processing audio better. So we've been looking for ways that they've been able to use the money that they spend on mergers and acquisitions to create better experiences for their users and therefore sell more stuff. The all too familiar AirPods, right? The earphones with a white cable that they made the center of their advertising campaign many years ago, even going back to the iPod, are out. Every new phone they announce is going to ship with something that they're calling the AirBud, not the earbud, but the AirBud, a wireless headphone that will work across the Apple devices, whether it's on the Mac to the iPad to the phone, you name your device, it's supposed to operate that, even the watch. And I think the seamlessness of that we'll see. Apple, if history's any judge of this, though, tends to get these things right more often than not.
This is true, and
but
it's beautiful.
that's the kind of product innovation that's going to matter, and that users are going to see out in the marketplace and say, I need to get that just to stay current.
They aren't going to be cheap.
No.
What's the market for them?
I think the market for them is going to be big. I mean, what we've seen from all kinds of companies in this space is that it's been a race to the bottom in terms of price and margin there. But the performance, as we all know, has been kind of weak with these things. But the notion that of this move towards wireless, particularly with Apple's focus in designing their own chip to manage the wireless, to manage what we fully expect as a Bluetooth connection across all these devices, bodes for hope that this might be actually a really strong product. And as some of our colleagues have noted with emails to us, they tend to get lost. You tend to sell more than two for every 2 years over the life cycle of a product. But just to sum up kind of what we've seen from Apple, right? We saw the announcement of the, oh, sorry, go ahead, Vonnie, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, if you buy a phone, they come at $649 for the 7 and $769 for the 7 Plus. Will we get some pods in there because there's only a Bluetooth connection, or do we have to buy them separately?
It's my understanding they're going to come with with the new phones, just like the old AirBuds did. But then they expand that to new product lines, to their Beats wireless product line, with a series of new Beats headphones that will also incorporate these new technologies from Apple, which they hope, of course, will boost Beats sales. And again, if you want to think about this from a Wall Street perspective, and I don't want to get too excited about a single day's trading in the stock, but what this means for their business. The expectations were that all we were going to get out of this announcement, the expectations of Wall Street, were that the only significant thing we get out of this would be anything in the iPhone, and that anything else would be gravy. But now we know that there's a pretty major update of the Apple Watch with better battery life, waterproof capabilities, some branding, both with Hermes and with Nike, and I think that that's really important, particularly with Nike, because we know that the best use case of a smartwatch thus far has been what we've seen from Fitbit, focused on athletes, focused on runners, and not waterproof, unlike this new watch. But then add to that the AirBud and Beats, new product announcements from there. I didn't read a single note from Wall Street expecting any kind of advancement or uptick in sales that might come from that segment of the market for Apple. So that could be a positive both beyond what Wall Street expected and also a positive to what the business might get.